What's going on, everybody? This is Jackie's Terry's graphic design, and today I'm going to be showing you how to combine photos from two different timelines. I have one when I was younger. I have one of me just recently, without the crazy beard. But I'm going to show you how to combine these two different photos, as you see, from two different timelines. I had to be like about 19 in this picture. This picture had to be around last year, 2016. So we're definitely gonna combine these photos in together and, have these two people meet. So first, what I wanna do in order to do this, we're gonna grab this lasso tool. If you've seen some of my recent tutorials or later tutorials, you will know that I use this lasso tool quite frequently when doing these designs. So this is exactly what I'm gonna use to do this design right here. So pretty simple stuff. Once again, I'm just gonna trace over the image. And it's gonna essentially just cut it right out. I'm trying to really get in the kinks, the hair, get the levels of the hair to make it look really authentic. The thing I like about the lasso tool, it's just so easy to use. I mean, all you gotta do is just pretty much just trace over your images, and it's gonna cut it out, and put in that full transparent background. And man, that's the key, man, of making your background fully transparent. I mean, it's everything, man, because you can literally put your background behind any subject you want, and you can make multiple designs of these. It's all about getting creative. When I made this design, I figured, like, why not combine two photos together from two different timelines? So as you see, my subject is now cut out, which is good, which is what we want. So pretty much, the highlights indicate that he's ready to be cut out. So what we want to do is just cut the subject out, which is very good. He's cut out, and as you see, he's in his own transparent background. It's exactly what we want. He's actually cut out pretty good. We'll clean up the kinks a little bit later. So essentially, now that my subject is in a transparent background, we're gonna go right back to photo bin and do the same thing with him. We're gonna cut him out with the lasso tool. And for him, I'm gonna kind of zoom in just a little bit more so I can get every part of him. Let's see, let's zoom in just a little bit more. Yeah, we'll actually kind of zoom out just a little bit. Okay, now that we got our subject, once again, we're taking this lasso tool and we're just gonna trace over our subject. Very simple tool to use. I have a lot of different tutorials on YouTube, Facebook with me using this lasso tool and taking full advantage of it. There may be other ways to do this, but my personal favorite is using that lasso tool. It makes it very, very simple to cut out your subject. Very, very simple. As you see, I'm just going up, just cutting out my subject. Very simple stuff. I'm being careful about the hands, not to cut out some of the hands, and pretty much over his whole entire body. Okay, that looks fairly good. So what we want to do now is cut our subject out from this picture once again. So he's in that transparent background as well. As you see, he's in a fully transparent background. Looks really good. Looks really good. He's out of that picture, so we don't need this picture anymore. So essentially what I want to do now is go back to my photo bin. This is how you combine the photos, you guys, from 2 different timelines. Essentially what I want to do now is click on my other picture. And pretty much all I want to do is drag this image up. And there we go. That's perfect. And now what I want to do is I want to resize this image, because right now I want him to be the same size as the guy with the glasses on. I want him to be that size as well. So what I want to do is pretty much go to my resize tool, resize this image. Really resize it. Bring it up. So essentially they will kind of be the same size. And I also might want to resize this image as well. Make him just a tad smaller. So it looks like it's leaning. Okay. Looks really good. Okay, looks really good. So essentially both of my subjects look like they are the same size now. I had to do some resizing to the first picture, but everything looks pretty good. So what I want to do now is essentially delete this background right here, because we don't need it. Our backgrounds are already in a fully transparent background, so we don't need this original background. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another background. So we're gonna delete this layer, and essentially now what we're gonna do is we got 2 different images right here. What you want to do to make it its own separate image is you want to go to merge visible, and what this is gonna do is merge these layers together, so you have one individual layer. And this is how you do it to combine 2 layers together. You just go to merge visible layer. Now these 2 images have one layer, so now I could essentially combine another background in this if I want it. So what we'll do is we'll go back to photo bin. And right now this is a nice blue background that really kind of fits the setting, kind of adds that photography type of look to it. So we're going to use this as well. This background really suits it up, really suits it perfect. So what we're going to do is just drag this blue image up. And essentially cover the whole picture with it. Okay, yes, that looks really good. And we're gonna drag our background image up. We're gonna drag our foreground image up. Okay, looks very good. Now we got a little bit of cleaning up to do. And you know, to really get rid of these kind of edges that the lasso tool didn't get. Everything's fine because it's in a totally different background now. Everything looks good. So pretty much what we're gonna do is take the eraser tool, just bring it all the way down like this and just kind of clean it up. We're now in the kind of cleanup process right now, so I'm just going over my subject and, you know, just cleaning out those spots the lasso tool didn't get, to kind of make it look really authentic. Just going around his hair, just kind of being careful. You want to make this look as real as possible. So I'm just going along the hair. Right now, I'm definitely using that eraser tool. This is what the eraser tool is for. You know, it's gonna clean up all of these unnecessary spots. And I already have my subject behind the background, so it's gonna replace that transparent background with the blue, because that's already my background image. So that's all this eraser tool is doing, is just kind of cleaning up the unnecessary spots that I don't want. Pretty much almost finished, you guys. Everything looks pretty good. The edges are cleaned up. Everything looks really good. Once again, we're gonna apply the merge to make this into one picture. Right now it's still one layer with the background. We want it to be 2 layers. As you see, it's still one layer. We want to combine these 2 pictures together. So once again, we're gonna go to merge visible layer. Okay, everything looks really good. So now what we're gonna do is pretty much crop our image. That looks really good. Perfect. Crop our image. Come all the way down. Very nice. And that's pretty much it. It looks like these 2 photos are, you know, from 2 different timelines. And it won't take you long to do this. Only about 20 minutes. If you want to go more in depth, once again, you can always mess with the filters. There's a whole bunch of different filters on Photoshop you can use, or on your smartphone or tablet, to really bring out these photos, to make it even look more realistic than it already is. Once again, I'm gonna add that Orton effect, which is one of my favorite effects. It adds that kind of dreamy type of look. It's really good. We'll actually add a little bit of brightness to it and just really add that dreamy feel to it. Oh man, there's just a whole bunch of different filters you can use to really bring out this photo now that it's created. We'll add the zoom burst effect. What this is going to do is kind of add a little bit more depth to the image. It's going to add that kind of 3D look. And right now, what this little line is doing right here is adding focus to the area that I want to be focused in. It's adding focus right to the area. Really good. Pretty much, definitely you can pretty much do anything to kind of touch up this picture. Right now, all I'm doing is just experimenting with the filters, you know, finding the one that's right. Everyone looks pretty good. Right now, I'm just adjusting the shadows. Really messing around with these filters. Can really give it that. You can really make it any way you want to. Any filter you use will be beneficial. Right now, we'll also go to this filter layer right here. Once again, this is going to take me to all different types of filters. You can add a cartoony look to it if you want it. It's the best thing about Photoshop, man. It's the filters alone. You know, you can create fantastic images with just using filters. You can really bring out your picture. And a lot of t-shirt designers use this technique. But one thing, it all starts with kind of making that background fully transparent. good. So all in all, this Jackie's graphic design, this is pretty much it for the tutorial. This is how you combine 2 different images from 2 different timelines. You can do this with anybody you want to. You can do it with your family members, your grandma, anybody, in less than 10 or 20 minutes, you know, depending on how good you are. And it really builds a sense of bringing out your own creativity as well, combining 2 different photos in the one from 2 different timelines. With me with the black shirt on, I had to be at least about 19, and the one with the glasses had to be 29. So definitely a good way to, you know, combine 2 different images. A lot of graphic designers, a lot of photo editors definitely use this technique. I also use this technique to kind of make my alter egos as well, and I'll show you exactly how I do that. So once again, this is Jackie's graphic design, and this is how you combine 2 different photos from 2 different timelines. Always express your creativity. The sky's the limit. All you just need is to express your creativity in the right way, and hey, you can go far. So Jackie's graphic design, and I'm out.